Hey y'all, my name is Callie Parker and this is my presentation over Google Tools. So there are a ton of Google apps you can download onto your computer that are beneficial in the classroom, but I don't have time to talk about all of them, so I narrowed mine down to 9, and the 9 that I chose are Google Classroom, Google Drive, Google Docs, Google Forms, Hangouts on Air, YouTube, Google Plus, Google Calendar, and Google Sites. So Google Classroom seems to be the one that's used the most. You can create your own classroom online. You can publish your assignments in that classroom. You can create as many different classes as you like. You can post announcements and you can organize your digital files in your classroom. So say you have 6 different classes a day, you can create 6 different classes and your students can go into their individual classroom and see what you've posted in there. There are no ads. It's completely free. Nothing's popping up getting on your nerves every 3 minutes. You can communicate with your students without leaving the app, and you can start conversations with one, several, or all of your students. So this is what Google Classroom looks like. This is what it looks like when you enter the classroom. It has the name of the class up here, your name. You can select the theme or upload a photo. So Google provides a lot of themes, or you can upload your own photo. I personally would get a group picture of my students and post it right here. Right here it says no work due soon, so if you had an assignment coming up, it would say when it was due right there. All of your assignments and posts go right here. You can um, pin YouTube videos right here that your students can look at. Your students' Google Docs are posted right here, and they can view them, edit them, look at the comments you've made, or they can even critique other students' Google Docs if you enable that on here. To enroll students in your classroom, you give them this code that's posted right here, and they enter it, and it automatically enrolls them into the classroom. Right here, students can post or leave comments, or you can turn that off and mute them and make it to where only you can post and comment right there. In the About section, it has the name of the class right here, your name, your email address, and you can even invite other teachers to be a part of your classroom. So say you want your principal to see what you're doing, you can send an invite to them, and they enter the enrollment code, and it enrolls them in the class, and they can see what's going on here. Your Google Drive folder is also right here, and so here you could post your classroom rules, your school supply list, anything posted in your Google Drive you can share to your classroom. And then your Google Calendar is also connected to your Google Classroom, so you can see what you have going on this week there. So your Google Drive is where you can store any of your files in your Google Cloud for easy access. Google gives you 15 free gigabytes of storage. You can store pictures, videos, Word documents, PDF files, pretty much any kind of file you can store in your Google Drive. Google Drive lets you collaborate with others. You can share your folders and your files with your students. They can then view them, download them, or create their own files and place those in their own central folder. It's really a convenient way to organize files that you or your students or your colleagues or your students' parents can access and view securely. And you are even able to access your Google Drive when you're not online. Google Docs. I remember being introduced to Google Docs my last year of high school, I'm pretty sure. It's pretty similar to to Microsoft Word. Google Docs is a word processing tool that can be used to create basic Word documents. It's a great way to go paperless. You can save paper using Google Docs. Students can turn their assignments in through Google Docs, and then you can then grade them, make changes, you can edit them, make comments or suggestions, and then it sends it right back to them, so they're not waiting around to see how they did on an assignment. You can send it right back as soon as you grade it. It's a great way to work on a collaborative assignment where a group of students can work on a writing project together. So say you have some group work going on and you don't really have time to set aside during class for the group work, so you can assign it as homework and they can go home and do their part at home. And then there's also a built-in chat module. Google Forms are pretty neat. Google Forms can be used to create pop quizzes and assignments, and it's neat because they're self-grading. You don't have to go through and grade. It grades each one as soon as the student's done. There's a free add-on in Google Forms called Flubaroo. This add-on can assign tests to specific students. It then records the responses and it sends the results in an email to students and their parents. So, say you have a student who's really struggling in an area and you want them to get some extra practice in, you can create a Google form and it'll send it to them. And then it automatically grades it so they can see if they're improving or if they need to get some extra practice in after they're done with it. Hangouts on air. So, Hangouts are a tool that you can use to host live broadcasts with just a webcam, a computer, and an internet connection, or you can even use your phone to host a Hangout. These are really a great way to host guest speakers in your classroom when you can't really coordinate a visit. So, say your class is reading a book and you would really like for your class to be able to ask the book's author some questions. You get in touch with the author or whoever and ask them if they would be interested in doing a hangout with your class. So they say yeah, and it's kind of like Skype. They can see you, you can see them, they can ask questions. Um, they can be used for just chat messages, voice calls, or video calls. And anytime you just use a voice call, the phone number that shows comes from California. And it's really neat because the presentations are recorded so they can be viewed again later. So if you have some students that are absent on the day of the hangout, then when they come back, they can view the hangout and see what the author or whoever had to say. Hangouts are really cool to use for virtual field trips or student presentations. So your student can record their presentation at home and then show it at school or post it and other students can view it while they're at home as well. Also, there are what's called mystery hangouts. You get onto the Hangout website and you schedule a mystery hangout. You don't know where the class is that you're scheduling this hangout from. You don't know where they're from. You don't know who they are, anything. It's an actual mystery. And so those are pretty neat too. YouTube. Everyone knows what YouTube is. We've all used YouTube before. YouTube is where high quality videos on pretty much any topic you can imagine are posted. YouTube is actually the second largest internet search engine. I actually found some channels that I thought y'all would be interested in subscribing to, and these channels are TED Ed, School of Life, Braincraft, and Life Noggin, and these are all educational channels that I think would be beneficial to educators. Google Plus. Google Plus is a fantastic way to network with other educators. It's kind of like Facebook and Twitter combined. You are able to keep up with the latest trends in education. You get much needed support and you can participate in lively discussions with fellow educators. It's a great way to get support from other teachers when you're feeling down or you just need some advice. I found some communities on Google Plus that I thought y'all might be interested in also, and these are Educators on Google Plus, Chromebook EDU, and Educational Technology. Okay, Google Calendar. Google Calendar is the perfect way to organize your time. I don't even use my iPhone calendar anymore. I downloaded the Google Calendar app and I use it. You can plan your daily schedule, set reminders, create a to-do list, and collaborate with others. Google Calendar can be used to set up parent-teacher conferences and parents can confirm through Calendar. So you set up a time and it sends them an email and it asks them to accept or decline. And if they hit accept, it goes straight into your calendar and straight into their calendar, so neither one of y'all should forget. Calendar can even be used as your lesson planner. You curate it and then add the calendar to your classroom or your Google site. So this is what Google Calendar looks like. There are different views. You can view it by the day, week, month. You can change this from 4 days to 7 or 5 or however many, or you can view it by agenda. So I really like the month view. And then you have a little calendar over here also. So you can add other calendars. As you can see, I've added the phases of the moon calendar because I thought that was pretty cool. So you can add other calendars. You just browse interesting calendars and you can Christian holidays, Jewish holidays, etc. There's a bunch there. There's different sport calendars you can add: baseball, basketball, cricket, football, hockey, rugby, soccer, or you can hit more and there's days of the year, Hebrew calendar, phases of the moon, star dates, or week numbers. So just to show y'all, I'll add days of the year. and then you subscribe, and then you go back to calendar, and it shows that today is the 170th day of the year. So that's pretty cool. And then you can unsubscribe, or you can color code. You can hide this calendar from this list. There's many things you can do in Google Calendar. So Google Sites. So you can create your own Google Classroom, but you can also create your own Google website. And there are many differences between the two. Google Classroom is more geared toward a student-teacher relationship. Only students and teachers can enter that Google Classroom. Google Sites are open to pretty much anyone, students, parents, and fellow colleagues. Many things can be done on Google Sites, such as you can post announcements, publish classroom rules, post upcoming events, upload and share your files. You can post reading material, or you can introduce your topics or your themes of the month. So Google Sites is pretty cool. Here's my bibliography. Continued. And then my reflection paper. So before beginning research for this presentation, I had very little knowledge on Google tools. I had heard of Google Docs and Google Classroom, but that was about it. I went to a Google Professional Development 2 weeks ago, and that really helped me with this project. I was able to obtain hands-on experience and learn step by step how to use each tool. There are so many Google tools that can be used in the classroom. I couldn't go over each one in 15 minutes, so I narrowed my presentation down to my top 9 favorite ones. Google tools are free, super easy to use, and you've basically got an account already if you have a Gmail account. Using Google tools in the classroom has benefits for not only teachers but for students as well. Students can use technology, which is highly motivating for them. Teachers can provide their students with feedback in a timely manner. For example, when a student handwrites a rough draft and turns it in, it may take a while for the teacher to go over it and get it back to them. When a student turns in a rough draft through Google Docs, the teacher can look over it and make comments on it as soon as the student shares it with them. I love that I can save paper by creating assignments in Google Classroom. Google Hangouts provide teachers with the opportunity to connect with other educators. As a first-year teacher, I know that I will use Hangouts to get advice from other teachers. With most schools using Google, or with most schools going Google, it's very important to be familiar with what all educators can do through Google tools. There is an app that you can download on your mobile device for just about every Google tool. This makes taking work home with you much easier. You can check assignments and your calendar from your phone on the weekends. There are many different webinars that I've found that give tutorials on how to use